Okay, so are you a new mom or are you pregnant? Because this video is for you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through some things you need to really stop doing or if you're pregnant, some things that you need to think about if you want your baby's hair to thrive. Hey NC fam, welcome back to my channel. So for those that don't know me, my name is Novella. I am a kids hair coach and I help moms to confidently care for their children's natural hair and create new generational cycles. Okay mamas, before we get into this video, if you are a new mom or you are pregnant, you need to ensure that you have a checklist, a newborn checklist to be exact. This checklist is a free checklist that I have created just to help you check off all the things you need to make sure that you have for your new baby or for your newborn so that your baby's hair can thrive. So if you are a new mom or you're pregnant, you're not sure what to get for your baby's hair, click the link below this video so that you can access this free checklist, which is basically going to tell you what you need for your newborn's hair in order for it to thrive. Okay mamas, so the first thing you need to stop doing is not having a plan. Seriously mamas, you cannot wing it when it comes to your newborn's hair. You can't guess, you can't wing it. I mean, think about it this way. You have a plan for everything else. So you've designed your baby's room, you've bought a cot, you've bought a pushchair or a pram or a buggy, you've bought a car seat. You've basically bought everything for your baby in terms of their room and what they need. But when it comes to their hair care, there's no plan. Like you think you're going to wing it. It's not gonna work. It's trust me, it's not gonna work. I've been there, I've done that. You can't wing it. You need to have a plan of what exactly you're gonna do in terms of your baby's hair care. Now I know some of you are thinking but isn't it too early to have a regime or hair care for your newborn? Trust me, it's never too early to have a regime. If anyone tells you it's too early, they're lying. When it comes to a regime or routine, it's basically what you're going to be doing on a weekly or daily basis. It's just telling you what you're going to be doing. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. To be honest, a newborn's regime is the most simplest regime they're going to have in their lifetime. As a newborn, it's so simple, but they still need to have a regime. So you need to ensure that you have a plan in place for their hair care, a plan in place for their regime if you want your baby's hair to thrive. So stop trying to wing it. Stop not having a plan in place. The next thing you need to stop doing, mamas, is thinking that your little one's hair isn't going to change. Stop being so fixated with your little one's current texture, feel or look to their hair. It's going to change. In the first year of your baby's life, their hair is going to change the most. So stop thinking that their hair is not going to change, because if you don't, you're going to be disappointed as your little one's hair texture, feel, the look of it starts to change and transition more into a more afro textured hair. I speak to countless of moms, and a lot of times they are disappointed because they kind of felt like their newborn hair would stay like that. It will stay like how it was when they were newborn. So when their hair starts to change, they kind of feel bad because they were so used to that hair type, or they thought that their newborn will have that hair type for the rest of their life, and that's just not something that's going to happen. Their hair will change. How much is going to change depends on your baby. It's different for every baby, but just know that their hair will change. So stop being so fixated on their current hair type, because it's going to change. The next thing I want you to stop doing is thinking that your baby isn't going to bald just because you have a great regime in place, or just because you know what you should or shouldn't be doing. Your baby is going to bald if they're going to bald. Does that make sense? So for example, like how we experience postpartum shedding. I'm a hair coach. I believe I have a great regime in place. I believe I know how to care for my hair. But for all three of my children, I experienced postpartum shedding. Why? Because it's going to happen regardless of what I'm doing. And why is that? Because normally when it comes to postpartum shedding, when it comes to your baby losing hair in the first couple of months of their life, it's down to something that is hormonal, particularly telogen effluvium. I've spoken about this before in my previous videos. So if your baby is going to get telogen effluvium, which basically happens when their hormone levels drops, this causes them to lose hair like we do when we experience postpartum shedding. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If they're going to go bald, it's going to happen, you know. So don't think that just because you know what you're doing, or just because you have satin fitted sheets and you know you have all the right things in place, that your baby's not going to bald. If it's supposed to happen because it's hormonal, it's going to happen, and that's okay. I mean, from 6 months, when telogen effluvium dies down, you will start to notice that your baby's hair is growing back quite quickly. But I don't want you to think that just because you're doing certain things, or just because you're hoping and praying that your baby doesn't lose hair or go bald, that it's not going to happen. Of course, if you are doing the right things, the rate or the excessiveness of the hair loss, for example, it isn't going to be as bad because you've got good practices in place, in comparison to someone that doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't have a good regime or good hair care practices. The hair loss, balding will be excessive. So that's something positive to know, that even if your baby is going to go through balding, hair loss due to telogen effluvium, if you have a good regime and good hair care practices, it isn't going to be as bad, but they still will go through the balding. Another thing I want you to stop doing is thinking that you know everything when it comes to your baby's hair and the different things it's going to go through, because trust me, especially if you haven't educated yourself on the different phases that your baby's hair is going to go through, you're going to be quite shocked. Like, their hair goes through different phases. It goes through a dryness phase, it goes through balding, it goes through a cradle cap, it goes through like new growth around their hairline, which a lot of moms think is down to breakage. Like, their hair grows through different phases, just like how they go through different developmental phases. Their hair goes through phases. So if you're not educated, you haven't done your research, and you think you know everything their hair is going to go through, you're going to be quite shocked when you see these different phases. But if you have educated yourself, great. Just make sure that you know what to do during these different phases. Now, this brings me nicely onto my next point. I want you to stop feeling bad for not knowing how to care for your baby's hair. Now, this is something that I felt when I had my firstborn. I felt bad for not knowing. I felt bad that I even had to research certain things online. I kind of felt like I should know this. Why am I having to search for things? Don't be like me. Don't feel bad. When you leave the hospital, the doctors don't give you a manual on how to care for your baby or how to care for their hair. So these are things that you're not going to know unless someone tells you. I mean, if your mom was great with your hair growing up, for example, she can pass down that knowledge to you. But most of the times, our moms weren't the best when it came to our hair care. So they're not even able to pass down that knowledge to you to take care of your baby's hair. So don't feel bad. You're not meant to know how to care for your baby's hair. But this is why you have to educate yourself. There's no excuse for not educating yourself, but don't feel bad that you don't know. But there's so much information out there to now help you to care for your newborn's hair. So take advantage of that. I mean, watch my videos, take advantage of it, watch my videos, educate yourself, and then with that knowledge, you'll be able to care for your baby's or your little one's hair. But don't feel bad for not knowing. We are not supposed to know. It is a skill, something we have to learn. Once you've learned it, you'll be okay. NC fam, don't forget my newborn checklist. If you are a new mom and you're pregnant and you're not sure what things you need for your baby's hair care, don't worry, don't panic. Just click the link below this video and download your free checklist so you'll be able to take care of your baby's hair the best way you need to, knowing exactly what you need for your baby's hair in order for it to thrive. Click the link below this video to access this free checklist. The next thing is stop allowing your mother or your mother-in-law to take control of your newborn's hair care, especially when you know deep down that what they're doing they really shouldn't be doing. For example, washing your baby's hair every day. A lot of us, I know myself, when my mum was doing this to my firstborn, I didn't feel great about it. I was thinking in my head, like, do you really need to wash my baby's hair every day? Like, how dirty is it? I mean, their hair doesn't need to be washed every day, and like, I knew it's going to dry out my baby's hair. So I was able to put my foot down and just tell my mum, no, please just wash my baby's hair once a week. And thankfully she listened. So respectfully tell your mother or your mother-in-law that you don't want them to wash your baby's hair every single day. Whatever they tell you, if you feel like it isn't the right thing, or you know that it isn't the right thing to do, with respect, just tell them so that you can save your baby's hair. Basically, your baby's hair, the newborn stage, is vital. That sets the foundation for healthy hair growth from now and beyond. So we want to make sure that we're starting their regime off correctly. The next thing I want you to stop doing is taking advice from any and everyone. Don't listen to everyone. It's just going to make you confused. Of course, you may have some friends and their kids have great hair, long hair, healthy hair, whatever the case may be, but still try not to take advice from too many people. Too many people have different opinions on what you should and shouldn't do. Make sure that you're taking advice from credible people that actually know what they're talking about. This is going to save you a lot of confusion and just doing too much to your little one's hair, because like I said, everyone has their way of treating or looking after their little one's hair or their newborn's hair. But just make sure that you're doing what you should be doing, and you've gotten that education or you've done your research, so that when anyone's telling you what to do, you know which advice you should take and which advice you should leave, basically. The next thing I want you to stop doing is thinking that it's only white babies that are born with no hair. Some white babies are born with hair. A lot of white babies aren't born with any hair, but I want you to stop thinking that it's only white babies that are in that category, because there are a lot of black babies who are also born with no hair. And I've had clients who I've spoken to and they've said to me, Novella, my baby was born with no hair, and I was shocked. I was upset. I was expecting a full head of hair. Like, what is going on? It is completely normal. Every baby can be, every baby can be born with a full head of hair or no hair. Babies are born with different densities, different hair types. You just never know until you meet your baby. But of course, as time goes on, your baby's hair will change in the first year of their life. So don't be so fixated on how your baby's hair is when they come out of your womb, because it's going to change. Even if your baby has no hair, they will get hair very soon. So don't panic, don't worry. The next thing I want you to stop doing is thinking that what you're using at the newborn stage, for example water and oil for your newborn's hair, is all you need for the rest of their hair journey. That's not the case. In the first couple of months, this will be okay for your newborn, but at some point their hair is going to change into becoming a bit more afro textured, and when this happens, you're gonna have to incorporate, for example, a leave-in conditioner into their regime. So basically, as their hair changes, you're gonna start needing to incorporate some new products into their regime. So don't think that what you have right now is all you need for the rest of their hair journey. You're gonna have to tweak as their hair needs change. For more newborn hair care tips, because I know you're going to benefit from them, check out this video right here where I share all of my newborn hair care tips. That's again going to help you take care of your little one's hair in order for it to thrive like I know you want it to.